Hi and hello watch fans, and welcome to another edition of the Real Time Show with me, your friendly neighborhood watchmaker, Rob Nudds. Today I am joined by Billy C and Christopher Waluga, what we're going to call him Chris, from Glashütte Watch Club to tell us about their project and to spread the love of German watches. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Rob.
It is my pleasure. Now, Chris, you and I have known each other for a couple of years at least, haven't we? I think, did we meet in person at one of the Nomos forums first, or was it Micro Prague? I forget.
It was, the Nomos Forum for sure, and Micro Prague, in Prague. I never miss a chance to visit the city.
No, of course you don't, and I guess there's some more chances coming up towards the end of the year. We will have two events in Prague, very close together, SEW, that's Salon Exceptional Watches, and Micro Prague, which is the event organised by our good friends Banu and Andra. Now, Billy, you and I have never met. You're based in Hong Kong. How did you and Chris come to know each other?
Oh, so this is a very interesting question, because guess what? We have not met before, me and Chris. We have never met in person. So the funny thing is that we have always said that we want to meet, but it didn't really work out because of the busy schedule and everything. So initially, we were we follow each other on Instagram through NWC, the Nomos Watch Club, and then he started the GWC, the Glashütte Watch Club, and I was one of the earliest followers of the GWC, and we kind of start interacting because I have been tagging him and he has been tagging me, and then we have been posting and making posts in collaboration with one another. So that's how we start interacting with one another, and then we start chatting on Instagram, and that's how we started this kind of watch buddy relationship.
Yeah, right. Quite interesting how we got to it, right? So first, just writing, I saw your incredible collection and your nice photography as well. So it was a perfect match for the Glashütte Watch Club, where I also do a lot of collab posts, right? But with you, I think the most,
So, Chris, you're no stranger to forming collectors' communities. This isn't your first. Of course, you are behind the Nomos Watch Club as well, NWC. That's been growing for the last 8 years, I guess, since 2017, and you now have around 8,000 followers on the Facebook group. Obviously, this new GWC venture is a little newer, and you're fast approaching 1,000 people. But what do people need to do to become part of this group? Do they need to sign up? Do they need a membership card, or can they just join?
So, like the GWC is like the NWC. It just appeared like 5 years later. And, it's a community club, so to speak. You don't need a physical membership card or a monthly payment to be a member of the club. You either own already a watch from Glashütte, or you're just a fan of the brands there, and you can join the Facebook groups. You can follow us on Instagram, right? So those are our biggest channels. In the Facebook groups, we take the opportunity to share comments, to share photos, to interact with each other. And I can also post my blog articles there that I do on the blog, right? Making my own hands-on review when I get hands-on some nice watches. And so this is just like, it's open for everyone. And that's a great thing. We want to get the name out, right, into the world. And now with the new project of Glashütte Watch Club, we count in every brand. We don't say, oh, you only need to own a watch of this one particular brand. But no matter which brand you're a fan of, you can be part of the Glashütte Watch Club. And it's not a matter of like, it needs to be a super high-end expensive watch, or it can be like a starter watch from Glashütte. So everyone is welcome there.
Yes. Also, if I might ask, Chris, how do you think your articles has been attracting people to the club? All your articles on the blog, and also on Facebook, the posts you post on Facebook. I do think that this is one of the attractive points for people who would like to know a bit more about the club, right?
Yeah, I think like the articles are a great opportunity for people who are interested in specific models, right? They Google it up. They can find it maybe when I'm lucky and well ranked on Google, they can find it, or they are member of the group or Instagram, where I also share the links to them. And the feedback that I get in the groups and also through DMs, right? It's great to see that people write me, yeah, I've already read this article and now I'm interested in this particular watch. Can you tell me more about it? And then we chat in the group or we chat privately. This is a nice feedback, and yeah, to see that your work is appreciated, because we write independently, and I write my opinion about the watch that I have, most of the watches I own, and I can give them a feedback how I like it, how I see it, and how I like it over time that I'm wearing this watch. So this is a good, insight for people who are interested.
Yeah, so the community is basically, the GWC is simply a community for all German watch lovers. I think that would be to sum it up. This is the perfect place or the perfect community if you are a German watch lover.
Exactly.
So what are the plans for the future? Are you going to organize physical meetups in Glashütte itself, or in Dresden nearby, or in either of your home locations? Because Billy, you're in Hong Kong, and Chris, you're in Krakow at the minute, aren't you? But you may not be forever, I guess.
Yeah, I had some ideas to move to Prague, maybe. I mean, it's closer to Glashütte, much closer, actually. But those plans are a bit in the future now, but it's still something I would like to do. Now we focus on bringing the GWC globally, to make it globally, right? To catch all the collectors worldwide. And that was the first idea with Billy. Yeah, we said we are writing together. We are not sitting down together, unfortunately, but soon. And then we said, yeah, how we can do something together, and why not in Hong Kong? Yeah, because Billy is based there.
Yeah, so basically our first event will be in Hong Kong. It will be in 2026 in January. We'll have our first a small meetup, get together for this GWC first ever event, and it's gonna be mainly for collectors in Hong Kong, but we are also welcoming some of the guests from different parts of the world. We have different German watch lovers coming over from Singapore, from other parts of Asia, even from America. So that's going to be a fun event in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm really excited about it. We thought about it first as, Hong Kong, Singapore, those cities are hubs for watch collectors, and especially the high-end Glashütte watchmaking. And there's also many people who wrote us in the contact form that we have on our blog, that they just acquired maybe an enormous watch or something, not so expensive like a perpetual calendar from Lang & Söhne. And they're all interested in joining the event and meeting each other, and just having a relaxed evening, talking about watches, getting to know each other. And this will be the first step, I think, into maybe future nice project in other cities that we will organize then and invite the people. Billy and I will always host them. So we will be there. I will fly to Hong Kong to Billy. Super excited to see Hong Kong also for the first time. And yeah, so really exciting time.
That sounds like a fantastic idea and a lovely mobile community, as it were, because there are fans of German watchmaking all over the world. Before we talk about what German watchmaking is, for any of our listeners that aren't really aware of how it's distinguishable from Swiss watchmaking, why don't you two tell me how you both fell in love with German watches, and why is it that you are so obsessed with timepieces that come out of Glashütte?
Actually, for me, my first watch was not a German watch. It's actually a Zenith. It's Captain Winsor. And when I got it, I thought, oh, that was such an amazing watch with the Alpamero movement. And that looks fascinating. So I start looking up information about watch movements, and also the how people how the watchmakers make the movement, and how the artists they decorate the movements, so on and so forth. And then I start looking at German watches because they are so distinctive. They are very the design the German watches, they have such a special design on their movement. It's so robust, and it's not like any of those Swiss watches that I've ever seen. So I start digging a bit more about it, and I came across a datograph, the movement of a datograph of Lange on a magazine, and that's how I discovered a new phrase, basically a new places for me, and that's how I start looking at all these German watches, and that's basically I think the biggest difference between Swiss watches and German watches, I would say, it's the movements and how they are built and how they are decorated. I think that's from me.
My first watch, actually, it was neither Swiss nor German. My very first mechanical watch was a gift by my mom. I was like 16. It was an Ingersoll, so it had a Chinese movement, but it had a beautiful dial. It had a regulator dial. It was black and white, so you had the hours on top, the big minute hand, and the small seconds at 6 o'clock, so a classic regulator dial. And when I was like walking through the cities and I was stopping by the expensive stores, I always checked like, in this design, it goes to, Glashütte Original, Regulator, all the classic regulator dials that you see. And I was wearing this watch for many, many, many years before I then actually had my first German watch, which was Nomos, my Nomos Ahoy. It was a gift from my family after I finished university. I graduated at the Bauhaus University. I studied architecture. And for me, watches were always a big passion during the whole time. And for me, the design of Nomos, it brought together so well the both worlds of architecture and watches, right? The famous Bauhaus watch design, so to speak, even though never a watch was designed at the Bauhaus school itself, but the design language was taken from this time in the 1920s. And so this connected for me both worlds perfectly. So I asked my family, like, maybe this watch would be a nice gift. And I was lucky. I got it. So it's a beautiful reminder of my family. And it was my first Glashütte watch, actually. And with this watch, I founded the Nomos Watch Club. So I thought I always wanted to have an Instagram account with watches, but why not to make it immediately as a community and not only about my collection? So I started to post my watch. I also reposted watches, and then the journey began. And now I have like a lot of Nomos watches, right? So I do this since many years. I have a lot of watches from them, was invited to their events, and it's a really beautiful story. And then, when you came more and more to Glashütte, and when you digged more into the topic of the watches from there, you quickly realize there's much, much more in this town of Glashütte than, just maybe your one or two favorite brands, and some of you have maybe never heard of. And this is the interesting thing, that there's so much going on. And I believe, because one of the first questions of other brands that I visited when I started with the GWC was, but when you are now for the Glashütte Watch Club, what is there the main brand, or who is in the focus, right? And I said, to be honest, there is none favorite brand represented in the Glashütte Watch Club, because in my opinion, every brand has their specific design language. And even if the price range is the same, let's say the high-end pieces from Moritz Grossmann, Lange Söhne, Glashütte Original, if a collector makes a decision to spend a lot of money on his new watch, it will be not influenced by what I say, right? It is very individual. They can decide, do they want to go to the very rich history of Lange Söhne? Do they want the finish level of Moritz Grossmann, or do they want the classic design with traditional watchmaking from Glashütte Original, right? They have many models with a very classic design, but also modern elements to it. So there's so much to discover in the town of Glashütte. And so this is what fascinates me about Glashütte watches in particular.
That was a great, passionate answer, the kind of thing we'd expect from somebody that founded the club based around a particular style of watchmaking. We're going to play some games now. We're going to lead you through the Glashütte community itself and ask you questions about certain brands that work there. Don't worry, it's not trivia. It's not like foundation dates of every single brand in Glashütte, although that would be good for a pub quiz. No, I want to know some more subjective things.
Yeah.
I would like to know, firstly, could you give me, both of you, we'll start with Billy, your top 3 brands from Glashütte and why?
For me, definitely the Lange & Söhne. This is the first one because I am a massive collector and a massive fan of that brand. So Lange & Söhne, this has to be the top of the list for me. Next up, I would say it's a very, very nice brand, but it doesn't get that much of recognition so far. It's the Maurice Grossman. They have one of the most interesting movement that I've ever seen, and that's the Hamatic movement that they have. I think they have the idea from a pocket watch, from like hundreds years ago, and they put it in their modern watch. So I think that's quite an interesting one, and their finishing is also top notch. And if you ask me to name the third one, I would probably go with Nomos, because this is one of the biggest German watch brands, and also they cover a lot of grounds in terms of the price range. If you want to have a more entry level watches, you have the Tangente. You also have the more easy to purchase ones. And then if you look at if you want to have something more complicated, then you have the Lambda. So basically, you have quite a lot of different choices in there, and it's basically you can, like, anyone can find a watch within the catalog of Nomos. So Lange, Maurice Grossman, and Nomos. These are my top choice for German watches.
All right, Chris, let's have yours.
Yeah, okay, that's a really hard and difficult question because, of course, for me, all brands are like on number one. For me, every brand has like something specific for each and every one. But of course, I need to answer your question to my top 3. Of course, on the first place, I put Nomos, right? Because it's the brand that I started with. It's a brand that we achieved a lot with, right? We did our own special edition that we designed together with every member or everyone possible who were able to comment on it in the Facebook group. We made a lot of questions about it. What do you like? What colors would you like on a watch? And then together with Nomos, we designed our own special edition, and it even got its own name because otherwise it would be a bit double. The usual name for the special editions are connected with the name that it's made for. So it would be the club for the Nomos Watch Club. It would be a bit too much. So they said, let's just make it Watch Club. So it's actually, I think it's the first special edition that received its own name, which is Watch Club 36. So it was a Club 36, and it was made by all the inspirations of every club member who was open to enter his ideas, right? It's also a beautiful project. And also, we did not limit it. We made a time frame of 10 days. It was able to order over a link in the Facebook group or my blog that it was possible to order for the people. And it was a big success. So it's, I think still one of the most asked special editions, together with the limited edition of the Japanese dealer, the Toki Tangente, right? So many people ask about it. So long story short, Nomos is, of course, the brand of my heart. And the other brands that Billy named are, of course, also in my top 10, definitely. But also the smaller brands there are very interesting. So especially the new brand that's there since a short time, DUG, is very interesting what they offer for the price point, right? You can you have a great selection of the individualization of the watch. You can choose a dial. You want to have it with a date or not. You want to choose the stainless steel bracelet or leather bracelet. And this all for around like a little bit over €1,000, which is a great entry level point in Glashütte. And also I'm also a fan of Union Glashütte, which is belongs to Glashütte Original. And I've been there many times. I was at the manufacturer visit as well. And honestly, I was very surprised how much they work on the base ETA caliber, which is Swiss, right? So to fulfill the Glashütte rule, they really do a lot on the movement. And that really surprised me. I find also the price points there very interesting, and the designs, they're different from the others. Again, we are speaking about this price range between 2, 3, 4,000 euro and below. So there's also something for everyone in this categories.
I'm kind of amazed, to be honest. Billy's answer sounds like that of a sane person. Lange, Moritz, Normos. Chris, you've completely thrown a curveball there. Were you trying to be controversial by putting DUG at number 2 and Union at number 3?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I would also take the brands that Billy named. I also had a visit. I had a visit at Moritz Grossmann. It was actually the first brand I was able to visit in the name of the GWC. So I didn't have any article online on my blog yet. I was completely new there, and I said like, "Hey, can I come over maybe?" And they invited me. So they're independent, right? It was easy for them to check this and to invite me. I was very amazed also about their finish. They showed me how the hands of the watch are made by hand, how they blew it over the small flame. It was really, really interesting. But yeah, so as I said before, I like all brands. I think there's something for everyone. Also, Mühle was a very interesting visit and great talks with the CEO there. But yeah, it's such a big world in this small town of Glashütte of different watches. I could tell you positive things about every brand for sure.
Yeah, and also we are only mentioning like 5 of these all these Glashütte brands. We also have like Lange & Hein, which is also one of my personal favorite. The reason why I didn't put it in the top 3 is because of their small production. It's so small that you cannot find one. So that is also one brand that we cannot forget about.
Well, also, it's in Dresden, really, isn't it? It's not really in Glashütte. So if we want to roll in all the Dresden brands as well, which is actually what I was about to leap in and say myself, there's a few more. I mean, one of my favorites, I don't know if you guys know them, but Pullman Brazen, run by Lucas and Josef in Dresden, is a really cool brand. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I visited them also. Really cool guys. I love their small atelier they have and how they work on the watches. That was a great visit. I also know them. And when we talk about those small brands, really passionate, there's also Kalinic Kleis, right? Which is also which is also a new brand. 2 amazing guys. Like I was there already a couple times. We went for dinner together with other friends from Glashütte, and their finish level is just like it's crazy what they bring to the watchmakers table there. It's amazing.
Okay, so this is actually going to add another layer to my my next little game that I want to play. This is good. So instead of just localizing this on Glashütte, I'll open up the doors to Dresden as well. I want you to build your perfect Saxon watch, and for this task, you need to provide me with someone to make the case, someone to make the dial, someone to make the hands, someone to make the movement, and someone to make the strap. And you can't use the same brand twice. All right? Are the rules of the game clear?
Yes.
It's quite a fun exercise when you start realizing you can only use each brand in one spot. I'm sure you both ran into a situation where you reached for a brand you'd already assigned somewhere else for something later down the list. But let's begin with you, Billy. Give us your watch in any order. You can tell us any component in any order you want.
So for the case, I would probably go with Nomos. First of all, because they have the most experience in different case design. They offer the most variety among all the brands, so they are experienced in producing cases. And like if you are looking at like for me, the perfect size is like a 36 or 38 diameter, and they offer the most options. So no most for the case. And then for the dial, I will probably go for Lange for their signature lumen dial, the one that is the best in my opinion. And then for the hands, I would go to Maurice Grossman for their purple hands. The very signature, very thin, very, very, very nicely crafted purple hands. And for the movement, I'm so tempted to say Lange because I'm a big fan of them. But since I have already chosen Lange for the dial, I would go with Lang & Hein. Their movement is gorgeous. It's just another level. And the finishing, it's beautiful. And for the strap, I will actually go for a personal friend of mine. But since we are talking about big brands, I think I would go to Geo, Glashütte Original, because they offer quite a lot of bracelet options, and after trying them on, I think they are not they offer quite a lot of options there. So this is my choice, but this is very difficult because all the brands, they have different design language, and I don't have a lot of options left. So yeah, this is my choice.
Damn, I completely forgot about Glashütte Original, which is ironic because I own one, and you would think that that would be enough for them to be top of mind in this exercise. But that's a good choice because the strap on my chronograph is absolutely gorgeous, and the bracelet they make for that one is one of the best bracelets in the market. So I dropped the ball on that, although I am pleased with my own answer, which will be coming up in a minute. But Chris, give us your rundown first. Any order you like.
Okay, so yeah, I have to agree with Billy. For the case, I chose Nomos. For me, more from a perspective from design and history, I really love the Tangente case and the Lux, which are for me the classic, as we spoke about, this Bauhaus design from the 1920s, almost unchanged. But also the club case is nice when you choose a smaller watch due to the long lugs. But my personal favorite size is also, let's say, 38 millimeters. And then the Tangente case is just perfect. For the dial, I chose Moritz Grossmann because of their tremblage dial. This is like the most beautiful dial I have seen, besides the Lumen dial from Lang & Söhne that Billy chose. It was also close on my list. I chose the tremblage because like the craftsmanship behind it is just like amazing. The hands, I chose the hands of DUG, the new brand in Glashütte, because they have an interesting rounded alpha shape, but with loom. So maybe regarding a more filigrane case and the special dial, I would have them a little bit more fine and slim, but with an attached loom. That would be cool. The movement, I chose Kalinic Kleis. As I said before, I'm amazed by their finish. I'm amazed by their clear rubies that they are using as stones, right? And I also love the side window of the case. So here should be a collaboration of Nomos and Kalinic Kleis to bring in a side window into the case to have a side view on the power reserve. For the strap, I chose Glashütte Original as well, because the strap of my favorite Glashütte Original watch, which is the Senator Tourbillon, it's a matte croc leather strap. And this matte on the strap, so it's not this like classic shiny crocodile leather strap, but it's matte gray, a very dark gray. And I just love this strap. It's elegant, but it's also modern. So this would be my idea of the mix in the watch.
Really nice choices, and a couple of crossovers, of course, with the first and the last choice, with Nomos winning out on the cases and Gio claiming the title of Strap Master for the Glashütte region. Very interesting to see that Moritz appeared on both lists, but in different places, and I agree, Chris, that the tremblage is superb, but I agree even more wholeheartedly with Billy with the hands, because that's where I'll start my list. I chose my hands also to be made by Moritz Grossman, and I was thinking of those purple ones as I made that choice. Whoa, where did I go next? My dial. Unusually, I chose Nomos to make my dial because I thought the colors and the proportions, the fonts, everything about Nomos dials I find instantly soothing to look at, and I don't get bored of looking at them. Although I do agree the tremblage is amazing and the lumen is superb, and any of Langer's dials would have probably topped a Nomos dial in terms of complexity, build quality, and so on and so forth. But I just think that the Nomos clarity and crispness is what I would want on my watch. The movement, I chose Langer and Zerner because that was the movement that got me. These movements got me into watchmaking, so it'd be mad for me to turn my back on them now, and I do think they're the best. For the strap or bracelet, I actually chose Lang and Hennett because they do a really cool under the radar sports watch, which has a movement that I believe is the standard UWD Erdenvertresen movement inside it, which I love anyway. But the bracelet is underrated. It's like a 5-link bracelet with alternate finishing, polished and brushed, with a really nice curved chamfer on each side of every link. It's called the Hector. Model Hector Edition 2 is the one I'm looking at, and I think that just speaks volumes to their finishing. Now, the one thing I've left unsaid, because it's a bit of a curveball and maybe a little bit of a cheat, but I did it because I think it's interesting to talk about. I would have my case made by SUG. Do you know what that is, guys? I'm sure you've been past it or to it many times, Chris.
SUG, I passed many times. Yeah, it's directly located on the other side of the street of Kalinic Place, right? And when you drive through Glashütte, you will see it. I was never inside, though.
I've never been inside either, but I know that all the best cases come out of it. To me, it's like Willy Wonka. You know, it's like the chocolate factory. I always used to wander past it at night when I was staying in Glashütte while working for Nomos, and I was thinking, I'm sure they're still up. I'm sure they're still making cases. I could hear the whir of machinery going round and round the clock. So, yeah, the thing with SUG is that they are case-making specialists, and they make some of the greatest cases for not just German brands, but brands in general, and you'll find them all over the place, and they really are top quality. Plus, it doesn't hold me to any style. So I was thinking, you know, when we're building this watch, I don't know about you, but I had this weird Frankenstein image in my head as it was all coming together, because I was picking my favorite of each category, but at the same time I was thinking, what would this look like?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like the SUG is definitely one that you know why I didn't mention Lange and some other brands when I was thinking about the case is exactly because of SUG, because SUG is probably one of the biggest suppliers in that area. So yeah, it's difficult not to mention it when we talk about the cases in Glashütte.
Yeah, and I admit I am cheating a bit because I kind of picked everyone.
Can we talk about this? Because I don't know, because I don't know whether it's like I think this is well known, but I'm not so sure.
This is the real time show, Billy. You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
But on your head, be it in case anyone hears.
Yeah.
But no, we're independent, and obviously SUG is a case supplier, and many brands have their cases supplied by SUG.
I think most people knows, right? Because it's written on the case back of the Lange anyway.
Yeah, they do put their mark on their cases, and so they should.
Yeah, they have the hallmark. The hallmark. Yeah,
it's a mark of quality. I mean, this is a thing. Like watchmaking is only recently had this idea of independence and verticalism. It never used to be that way, and I would want my case to be made by a case specialist. I want my crystal to be made by a crystal specialist. So I think very, very few people turn their nose up at using the best in their field to do an essential job.
Okay, cool.
So guys, what's the rest of the year looking like? Because your event is not until January, am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So the event will be on the 16th of January, Friday in Hong Kong. And we will actually meet then for the first time in person, Billy and me, at the Dubai Watch Week in November. So this will be the next watch event also for me. And I look forward to meet Billy and other guys there. It will be my first time at the Dubai Watch Week, first time at Dubai at all. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, if there's any German watch lovers that want to meet us in Dubai, just feel free to send us a DM on Instagram, or if you can drop us an email, that would also be welcomed. But yeah, we would definitely love to meet some more people in Dubai.
Will you be organising an official get-together closer to the time that people might be able to sign up to, or a dinner or something of that nature, or will it just be as and when people contact you, you'll meet them around the fair?
I think we will just meet people. We won't do a proper get together or well, then it will just be very casual to get to know each other and to say hi in case if some audience or some good friends, they cannot make it to the Hong Kong event and they still would love to meet us, then that would also be an opportunity in Dubai.
Yeah, of course. We just see spontaneously who's there and what we'll do these evenings. I mean, we don't have plans, so it can be a spontaneous meeting with other Glashütte enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there you go. If you love German watches and you want to be part of a growing community, then go along and see Billy and Chris at Dubai, or stay in touch with them over the internet, as they have done with one another, in anticipation of many, many fun things coming along in the future. We're going to have events, I'm sure, maybe guided tours of factories around Glashütte, and always the opportunity to meet up at the major fairs around the world and share our love of German watchmaking. Billy, Chris, thank you for taking some time to talk with me, and thanks for playing along with my little game. I think it was quite a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, that's for sure. And we will see each other, at least Chris, you and I will see each other in Prague. Billy, I hope we meet very soon. Maybe if I pop by Dubai, which I'm threatening to, I'll see you both there. If any of our guests have questions for Billy or Chris, please do get in touch with us. You know how to find us. You can get in touch via Instagram at therealtime.show, or you can email us at our email addresses directly, Rob, David, or Alon at therealtime.show, and Scarlett can be found at Scarlintheshire, that's SCARLINTHESHIRE on Instagram. We'll be back soon with more top quality watch content and interviews with the industry's finest. Until then, stay safe and keep on ticking.